Sacha Inchi is a magical world full of opportunities, both for the grower and for society. It contributes significantly to the social part of the state by supporting labour generation, industrialization and exports. Phytomorphic figures have been found in tombs of pre-Inca cultures, such as the Mochica and Chimu, where these gold and silver figures referred to the relevance of Sacha Inchi for the Aborigines, especially the elite, and its role as a tribute to the gods. Around 1630, Portugal commissioned Caroline to investigate the uses and customs of the Aborigines, including references to Sacha Inchi. In Colombia, the first cultivation of Sacha Inchi began around 1990s and gradually began to gain relevance after 2000, 2005 and 2010. From 2014 onwards, the value chain has been taking shape, supported by the Ministry of Agriculture, Academia and Agroecological. We are currently located in the municipality of Lebrija, in the department of Santander. At Lebrija farm, we have a total of 5,200 Sacha Inchi plants, and we are currently cultivating an additional 2,000 plants. Our approach is to cultivate in a clean way, without using pesticides or chemical agents, in order to guarantee a product of excellent quality. We estimate that in the department of Santander, there are approximately 50 active productive hectares dedicated to the cultivation of Sacha Inchi. Cultivation is being encouraged from a socialization perspective, promoting the planting of crops and the creation of demonstration farms and plots. These initiatives allow us to learn how to cultivate Sacha Inchi properly and adapt to the needs of civil responsibility and social impact. In addition, half-hectare projects are being carried out in different sites and municipalities to obtain more extensive information and advance in the cultivation of the crop. When talking about the Sacha Inchi fruit, we refer to the omega capsules, since it is important for people to consume omega fatty acids, which are essential for the functioning of the neurocellular omega-3, cardiovascular omega-6, and digestive omega-9 systems. There is a perfect balance between these fatty acids and the two antioxidants it contains, which are vitamin E, average of 1,628 particles per million, and vitamin A, average of 1,423 particles per million. In addition to its nutritional value, Sacha Inchi also contains proteins essential for nutrition. The fatty acids present in Sacha Inchi disintegrate in the body at a temperature of 32 degrees Celsius, which is relevant information and was already known. Saintza Dicia is a sustainable company from Santander, linked to the green window of the corporation. We are dedicated mainly to the agroecological cultivation, processing and marketing of Sacha Inchi. Our main product is presented in the form of oil. In 2018, the Ministry of Environment and Sustainable Development of the CMB, with resources from the European Union, verified that our product is clean, free of chemicals, and with multiple benefits for nutrition and human consumption. Being a green business commits us to comply with quality standards, to offer a clean product, and to have a social commitment to the environment. By having this commitment, we ensure that we carry a clean product that will not leave traces in the long term or in the short term. We are committed to caring for the soils, stabilizing the microbiota and macrofauna, and caring for the environment surrounding our crops. Our goal is to establish an environmentally friendly business. Through training and internal spaces, in collaboration with corporation and technical assistance, we can strengthen environmental, social, and economic aspects necessary to position our sustainable brand at a territorial level. It is important to carry out the task well, since this way we will be able to receive the necessary support for the development of enterprises such as the cultivation of Sacha Inchi. This crop adapts to altitudes ranging from 100 to 2,200 meters, but it is advisable to take it up to 2,000 meters to establish a buffer zone. It is essential to respect the agricultural frontier and avoid eliminating other crops to make room for Sacha Inchi cultivation. Sacha Inchi cultivation is very inclusive in terms of climate, which allows for traceability of the project. To begin cultivation, the seed is characterized and it is determined what type of users are present in the surrounding crops or on the land destined for Sacha Inchi cultivation. This crop tolerates shade, so it can coexist with other crops present in the area, whether productive or forest. Ideally, the soils recommended for Sacha Inchi are those that are very permeable. Sacha Inchi is very sustainable to humid soils, so hillside soils are recommended. Soils can vary from sandy loam to clay loam, as long as they have some incidence of minimum soil. If there is an excess of aggregate, crop management problems can occur due to the root system, increasing the risk of fusarium and nematode infection. Within the work of identifying varieties with potential and adaptation to altitudes of 100 to 1,600 meters, the Catio and Inca varieties are found. A plan is selected from which reproduction can be carried out, taking into account the lipid profile identified in the varieties that have robust plants that have been established for at least 3 years. It is important to consider the time elapsed, the average number of fruits formed, and the characterization of the fruits at the tips, which is related to the fertilization plan and soil urbanization. Once the overharvest has been collected, the seeds are opened and disinfected. To do this, it is recommended to immerse them in water with ash for 24 hours, followed by wetting the leachates, according to the recommendation of Professor Carlos Acevedo of UDIS, which increases the germination rate. Once characterized and well hydrated, they can be established in 3 ways: in humus indoors, keeping them hydrated, in direct sunlight, or in seedlings, either in bags or in large vessels for later transplanting. However, the most advisable way is a direct establishment in the crop, since Sacha Inchi plants develop faster from seeds. In approximately 2 months, an average of 2 meters of root system can be obtained. After having established the direction of furrows and the measurement of 125 centimeters from center to center, with a plant-to-plant spacing of 250 centimeters in diameter, the substrate is prepared using composted matter as a nutrient for the plant. It is recommended to apply at least 1 kilogram per site as an initial phase. In addition to using a soil corrector that also acts as a disinfectant. After the proper churning and leveling of the soil, the installation of the previously hydrated seeds begins. Placing the center point of the hole and following the established guideline, one seed is placed from the navel downwards, and the second seed is placed 20 centimeters away from the first in the same way. In case both seeds germinate, a thinning is performed and the plant with the best characteristics is selected. If any seed does not germinate, one of the best plants is sought and suitable transplant is made. It must be ensured that the seed is covered approximately 1 centimeter with soil during installation. The next step is to do the hilling around the plant, which is done manually. This is followed by pruning, fertilization, and soil amendment, also considering the harvesting of the crop every 15 days. It is advisable to carry out this plan on a regular basis, every 3 months, to ensure proper development of the plants and to obtain good quality and size fruits. In the case of plants established approximately 45 days ago, 3 processes can be carried out. First, the identification of the 2 plants is carried out. And in the case of having 2 seeds planted, thinning is carried out and the plant that does not have good characteristics is eliminated. Then the knot is tied in the selected plant and the guiding is done to provide wind resistance and support on the established guide. It was already established. Now I do the induction. The loop must be long and in the opposite direction. I must work from left to right as a plant naturally does so. Well, Francisco, after approximately 14 months, we are establishing the 4th formation pruning. We are going to start the productive pruning. We have already had some small fruit pickings, and you can see the traces. For this pruning, it is crucial to identify the blooms of the flowering stems. We distinguish the female bloom, which is smaller, and the male bloom. This particular shon, in particular, is giving me information of being very productive. Fortunately, this plant has completed the formative pruning stages, so it has little load at this early stage of productive pruning. Let's start by identifying and reviewing the process that has already been done. We can also begin to spruce up the plant, eliminating the shoots that are appearing. We must comply with the rule of leaving the shoots between 40 and 45 centimeters, and do not leave any ready gauze. Francisco, branches that have passed the harvesting stage should be removed. Ideally, care should be taken not to damage the basal base from which the gall emerges, as another gall will not form from there. All these eliminations should be done properly. I hope this improved version of the text and the punctuation marks are clearer for you. If you have any further questions, feel free to ask. Leaves that are past their growth stage should be removed. We do not remove them from the site, but work them at the foot of the plant, incorporating them as fodder. This is another approach we can take to crop residues. It is important to avoid waste and use labor efficiently. The plant extends to the pole here, so we should not leave any plants out. We are well established, complying with the 125 standard for disinfection. Bring clean clothes and I will bring another cutting tool. I must change clothes and disinfect to work on another new plant. This plant has no longer gone through a production stage. Therefore, let's make sure that the plant does not redevelop low buds. All shoots that have completed their productive stage should be removed. It is important to perform this action before the site, within the radius of 60 centimeters, is kept clean to collect and work this material. Between plants, we do not allow the shoots to cross. So let's start collecting the buds that are already available.
Si estabilizamos la planta,
We stabilize a plant through a good fertilization plan, amendments and organic material contributions. In this way, we will obtain a healthy macro and microfauna that will provide health to the crop. Likewise, we'll have plants more resistant to diseases such as Botrytis and Fusarium. We perform humidity control to avoid the association of Fusarium and nematodes. Which cause high plant mortality. This preventative approach is one of the aspects that our company is promoting. In addition, we are promoting a project to monitor environmental variables for crops. This project applies to any type of crop worldwide. It consists of a monitoring system that collects environmental variables such as temperature, solar radiation, humidity, wind direction and speed, and the amount of rain falling on the crop. This data is analyzed, monitored, and sent to the cloud through a data network. The customer can access this information 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in real time, and using a laptop, cell phone, or computer. In addition, early signals can be used to indicate if a critical level, such as the amount of rainfall, has been exceeded. Our goal is to provide the farmer with all the necessary variables of his crop, so that together with the agronomist, they can take corrective action in time to address any problems or conditions affecting their crop. This is what we call a smart crop. We approach the plant and select those fruits that are in good condition. Although some varieties may not show an optimal appearance, we focus on the opening of the first peel, which shows a green color during the fruit formation phase. The harvested fruits are stored in new sacks, which vary according to the different regions to ensure traceability. Once a crop is harvested, it is taken to a place where it is exposed to the sun to achieve an average fruit humidity of 14%. Then the decapping process is carried out. Which consists of removing the protective layer called estrella. This is followed by shelling, which involves removing the shell and obtaining a white almond. Depending on their oil profile, they are directed to the oil production line or to the almond production line. After passing through the corresponding machinery, the almonds are spread out on a table where identification and quality control is carried out. Fruits that show signs of oxidation cannot be used for either oil extraction or almond production. However, they can be used in the production of nutritional supplements for animals or in the manufacture of soaps. The almonds selected for oil production are packed in special bags and placed in a cylinder where cold extraction is carried out. Normally, a recirculation process is carried out 3 times. After the oil is extracted, it undergoes a decanting process that can last up to 7 days. It is then filtered. Finally, the oil is packaged, labeled and packed in boxes using a profiling machine. The goal is to bring to market a product that is ready to be purchased by consumers. There are great expectations for growth, as there is a growing demand for healthy, clean and organic food. People are discovering the benefits of this crop, which is being successfully produced throughout Colombia, especially in the Amazon region, where it is a native South American plant. At the institutional level, the Sacha Inchi production chain is being developed, and the Ministry of Agriculture is paying attention to this crop because of its great potential. Sacha Inchi has 3 major markets: cosmetics, food, and nutraceuticals. Sacha Inchi has 3 major markets: cosmetics, food, and nutraceuticals. Our goal is not only to cultivate this plant, but also to transform and promote it worldwide. The main focus is on producing a high-quality product that meets consumer expectations and can be successfully marketed. With the growing demand for healthy products and the institutional interest in this crop, we are confident that Sacha Inchi has a great future in the cosmetic, food, and nutraceutical markets at a national and international level.